Good evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. Today is Tuesday, July the 2nd, 2019. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, Motlow President Dr. Michael Torrance wins a prestigious award. Talking on your cell phone while driving is now a thing of the past in some instances. Tullahoma Community Coordinator Winston Brooks will stop by to give us details about tomorrow's Independence Day celebration, and Tom Corrington will speak with two of the four candidates for Tullahoma Alderman. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
Miller Lite and Michelob Ultra invite you to celebrate America's independence at Tullahoma's Fraser McEwen Park, Wednesday, July 3rd. Gates open at 3 p.m. and world-class fireworks start at 9. This is a free event that has something for everyone. Live music from Six Wire and Vinyl Radio, a kids zone, petting zoo, food, fun, games, and more. The City of Tullahoma, Miller Lite, and Michelob Ultra invite everyone to Fraser McEwen Park, July 3rd for the Tullahoma Independence Day Regional Celebration. And don't miss the downtown after-party at London's.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma. Only two remaining 2018 Kia Stingers up to $10,000 off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party. But things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her. And now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
Welcome back. Motlow State's president has earned the Global Mind Ed Leader of the Year award. Since his arrival in May 2018, Motlow State President Dr. Michael Torrance has positioned the college as a national leader through its ranking as the top performing college in Tennessee. Torrance was the winner of the Inclusive Excellence Leader Award in the 2-year and postgraduate higher education category. Torrance was one of 3 finalists in the category. Carol Carter, president and founder of Global Mind Ed, said, quote, Dr. Michael Torrance is a generous, inclusive, and innovative leader. We are delighted that he earned this award, and we look forward to his influence on inclusive leaders who follow after him in the Global Mind Ed community.
Global Mind Ed is a Denver, Colorado-based nonprofit organization promoting education and employment opportunities for first-generation to college students and seeks out and recognizes international leaders for their innovative ideas and actions promoting access and equality for people of color, women, LGBTQ, and underrepresented groups through initiatives related to recruiting, professional development, and advancement. Torrance's selection as a 2019 Global Mind Ed Inclusive Excellence Leader Award winner is an endorsement of the vision and outcomes he has achieved during his first year as president at Motlow State. The college's ability to do good work for the communities it serves grows exponentially as its resources and collaborative relationships expands.
If you're operating a motor vehicle, you need to put away those cell phones. Tennessee joined 30 other states yesterday in enforcing hands-free driving. Violating the hands-free law is now considered a Class C misdemeanor and carries a $50 fine for the first or second offense. For third and subsequent offenses, or if the violation causes an accident, the fine is $100. If you're caught holding a phone in a construction zone, the fine is $200. Depending on the circumstances, 4 or more violations in 1 year could result in the suspension of your driver's license.
Drivers can use a Bluetooth device to make calls or navigate GPS as long as the phone or device is mounted in the vehicle. However, you cannot program a GPS device while the vehicle is moving. Drivers will only be allowed to initiate or answer calls or operate the GPS device as long as it requires one swipe or tap of the driver's finger. A law already in place prohibits anyone 18 or younger with a learner's permit or intermediate driver's license from using a cell phone while driving unless it's an emergency. Violators could face a $50 fine and be ineligible to apply for an intermediate or unrestricted driver's license for an additional 90 days from the time the driver would otherwise be eligible to obtain the license. And after these messages, we'll be right back. Cool off at Southern Middle Tennessee's newest water park, Tullahoma's Splash Island. Fun for all ages. 3 25-foot water slides, lazy river, fun water features for toddlers, tasty food items available. All this and more, only $5 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 4 to 9 p.m. Sundays, 1 to 6. Join the fun at Tullahoma's Splash Island.
The wait is finally over. The all-new redesigned Ford Ranger is back at Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma. Stop and test drive one today at Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma on Highway 55, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. Tullahoma's annual fireworks extravaganza is coming up tomorrow, July the 3rd. Winston Brooks stopped by our studios to fill us in on the details.
We are so excited to invite the public to our Tullahoma Independence Day regional celebration, which is going to be Wednesday, July 3rd this year. Gets kicked off at 3 o'clock. It's going to be down at Fraser McEwen Park and inside Grider Stadium. And it's going to be awesome this year. I mean, more fireworks, more music, more cornhole tournaments, more kids zone, tons of food. Again, it's July 3rd, Grider Stadium, and the fireworks are going to be at 9 p.m. So we want you to come down, get your blankets, bring your chairs, no coolers, no tents, but there's plenty of room out there on that baseball field. It turns out that baseball field's actually probably larger than the football field. And so there's plenty of room down there. Center stage is positioned out in center field, and music starts off with a great group out of Nashville called Vinyl Radio. They do all the classics.
Yeah, they were here last year.
They were here last year, yeah. And we have another band returning, the NFL Draft House Band, also known as Six Wire. So did you watch the NFL Draft a little bit?
I did, yes.
Did you get up in that crowd?
No.
Now, 600,000 people, we're going to probably shoot for about a third of that, for this shit. No, I'm just kidding. But no, so the
200,000 people, I don't think.
If you watch the NFL draft and you saw Six Wire up there on stage, they're just session musicians, great professional musicians out of Nashville. They come down and they'll play for us. Fireworks at 9:15. And that's one of the reasons that I encourage people to sit in Grider Stadium is that there's close-up fireworks that are shot off right behind the stage that if you were trying to watch from a distance, you miss.
Right.
And this is all made possible because this is a great community event. It's a free event, but it's all made possible because of our sponsors. We want to shout out to them, Michelob Ultra and Miller Lite. So it's L&H Distributing and Cherokee Distributing. Those are the brands, Michelob Ultra, Miller Lite. There'll also be some other beers out there as well, so come out. We've got Jacobs, NAS, London's, Citizens Tri-County Bank, Coca-Cola, and Jack Daniels. Those are all of our big sponsors this year. We have some smaller sponsors, and we want to thank all of them because they're the ones that are making this possible. So come out, support those sponsors. Fireworks, as I mentioned, are world class. And then after the fireworks, the band will play for a little bit longer to stick around, let the crowd sort of die down. And then we have the London's after party like we did last year. And the great thing about that is you can go from Grider Stadium, take the shuttle to downtown, get off, go in, and continue celebrating at London's.
Oh, I did not remember that. That happened last year. So it's actually at London's.
It's at London's after party.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So that's really important that come on down. The parking is free everywhere. Respect people's grass and don't park where you're not supposed to. And once that parking fills up, we do have 2 shuttles, one running from Cherokee Plaza behind Burger King, one from downtown. It only takes about 7 minutes to make that loop, maybe 8. And they drop you off right at the front gate. And then when you leave, you just get on there and it takes you right back. So you don't have to get down and mess around with trying to park and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And this year we've got a nice, they're larger buses, and they also can manage handicap. So that's another development that's nice, because before we were just using the 12-passenger vans. So that gets you there. During the day at 3 o'clock, we've got Kids Zone, we'll have water slides, petting zoo, and then we've got we'll have lots of other games. There's plenty of food for the kids, snow cones, popcorn.
You do have food vendors there, right?
We've got food vendors, but out in the Kids Zone, we've got the cotton candy. But inside, we've got 122 West.
Ooh,
They're going to be down there. It's going to be good. We've got Jefferson's food truck. That's going to be awesome. We've got Coffee County Rescue Squad, which they always do a huge spread, hamburgers, hot dogs. We've got fresh squeezed lemonades. I'm trying to think of the other ones. We've got Piggy's Barbecue and kettle corn and some others that I can't name all of them, but there's going to be plenty of food down there for people to eat. So we want to just come out about 3 or 4 o'clock, get your spot, and it's going to be a great evening.
Okay, sounds like
July 3rd.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come out.
Yeah.
And the great thing about it, people wonder, why do we do it on July 3rd? Well, we do it on July 3rd, one, because this has become a Middle Tennessee tradition, the largest fireworks show in southern Middle Tennessee, but we don't want to compete with the other communities.
Right.
But then you can wake up in the morning, spend your time with the family, not have to worry about going anywhere, and you can sleep late. And if you choose to go to see other fireworks, it's there, or you can go out to the lake.
Yeah, you're right. They're all over the place.
You got your 4th of July holiday to your family.
Right, yeah.
That's why we do it.
That was a great idea. That was a great idea.
Come out and enjoy the festivities, celebrate our independence, and just wish everybody in Tullahoma and the surrounding area a happy 4th of July.
Absolutely. All right. Winston, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more News Leader on 6.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. 4 candidates are vying for 2 seats in this year's Tullahoma Alderman race. Tom Corrington spoke with all the candidates. In this segment, he talks with incumbent Jackie Duncan.
Race for alderman in Tullahoma. We have 2 vacancies and we have 4 candidates. So 2 of them will be selected and 2 won't. And it's not a primary. We won't have any ranking. The top 2 votes will be members of the board, and be the end of that. Before we get to the candidates, let me suggest you put a couple of things on your calendar. If you are not presently registered to vote, you need to do that. You've got until July the 1st, and that'll be cut off. Early voting will be from the 12th to the 27th of July. And the election itself is Thursday, August the 1st. So need to have those 3 on your calendar if you would. Our show today is with Jackie Duncan and Daniel Berry. And the 2 of them are here to try to convince you that you should vote for them. So welcome, guys, and thank you for coming and for sharing your time with us. And we're fairly familiar with Jackie Duncan. He's been on the scene for quite some time, but let's give him a chance to review for us. Tell us who he is and what he's about. Jackie.
Thank you, Tom. I'm Jackie Duncan. I think most everybody around here, I'm sure knows me. I've been here all my life. I was born in Camp Forest and hard to run me away. I left a time or two, and I always come back. You know, Tullahoma is such a fine place to live. When you're young, and I think a lot of our high school students, especially, it was at my age, I decided, you know, I got to go out and see the world. And this town is not quite big enough for me, you know, and I want to go and see what's going on somewhere else. Well, when you get there, you find out that home was not so bad after all, you know, especially when it's a good town. And every town it's not as good as Tullahoma, that's for sure. Not the place Tullahoma is, but you find out that you could do a lot better, you know, back home. And I stayed away for a while, saw the big cities, saw the lights, even wrote a poem about Tullahoma. It's out on YouTube, and it just tells how I feel about it, and it's been a great adventure my whole life. So I'm very pleased being in Tullahoma.
Yes. You mentioned Camp Forrest. Were you born in the hospital there?
I was born at the hospital there, yes.
Camp Forrest.
My doctor was a Marine lieutenant, and saw on the birth certificate. The Tullahoma News ran a story about that some time ago when they were getting ready to do that dedication out there, that monument on the side of the highway, and somebody had given some bad. Well, they've been misinformed a little bit about the babies that were born there, and I had to set them straight on that one because there were quite a few of us born there. So
yeah,
worked out really good.
Give us a little more information about you as a candidate. What are you trying to tell the folks they ought to vote for you?
I have, excuse me, I've been this will be my third term if I'm successful. I've never had a desire really to be in politics per se. I've always been a servant and wanting to be a volunteer, and I've always been a volunteer in everything. I remember at Arnold Air Force Base, I was when I worked there, bike-a-thons, walk-a-thons, anytime anybody had anything in town or out to base or something for a benevolent cause, and you know, I wanted to be a part of it, and I always engaged my nieces and nephews, and we all tried to bring them up in that same environment, and they did. So we had a good time. Anyway, we've done a lot of good things. I just have that desire to serve, and so somebody brought it to my attention when I retired that I didn't have enough to do. They thought I didn't have enough to do, and but I had plenty to do. I was going to retire. I was going to write a book and take care of a lot of people that needed my help at that time, and I just I got to do all that, and I found I had extra time on my hands anyway, and somebody saw that and encouraged me to be a servant for the people.
What is it? What's your primary thrust? What do you want to do most on the board?
What I've always done, pretty much, I support the mayor. The mayor was elected to head the city for his vision of it, and he has a great vision. I think he's something going on all the time. He's got he's involved in so many. You get so many activities going that will involve the future generation, the next generation, and the young mayors group, and he just involves a lot of young people with the idea of hopefully they'll if they leave to go to school and whatever to pursue something outside of Tullahoma, they will come back. Yeah. So that's and he has a vision for the city. That's what I like, and I support him in that. And I think that's my main job to do, is to support him.
Well, that's an interesting run. So,
and more news later on 60 is coming up in a moment.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Ford of Winchester. Check out the 2018 Ford F-150 as low as $34,739. That's Russell Barnett Ford on 41A in Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family caring for your family since 1932.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Welcome back. Tom Corrington also spoke with Alderman candidate Daniel Berry.
Talking today, folks, with two of our candidates for the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of Tullahoma. They are Jackie Duncan, who you heard from first, and our other candidate this morning is Daniel Berry, who's sitting immediately on my left here. And so let's see what we can find out about him. So, Daniel, thanks for joining us, and so tell us about yourself.
First, thank you. My name is Daniel Berry. My family moved here when I was in 6th grade. I count myself a Tullahoman. We moved from Ohio, so I count myself a Tennessean as well. Graduated from Tullahoma High School in 1999. Played football there. It was kind of those years. Miss Rose, Miss Cox, Miss Pockers, Pollock, and football coaches that kind of got those basic principles of leadership and teamwork. I, like Jackie had talked about, got those. I want to say that I got that wild hair to get up and move. I was actually kind of pushed off. I was told by my family and my friends an opportunity came along for me to take a position in Texas. And they basically said, if you don't go on your own, we're going to tie you up and drag you there. Which I'm glad that I took that opportunity because it completely changed my life and put me on kind of a different path to where I love what I do. I get to do what I love every day. I get to work with people from all over the world. It's introduced me to different cultures and different types of people, and it kind of set in motion how I got here. Kind of wrapped everything together.
Okay, what's on your to-do list? Where do you want to put your time and focus on the board?
Time and focus, I think, what should be on the forefront of every, whether it's local, state, federal, global level, is good jobs. When I say good jobs, I mean kind of that what I tag light blue collar jobs that pay that 37 to 45 to 50 range, to where you can raise your family and also contribute back and sustain the economy. When I moved to Texas, I was originally in a landman, which is surveying and oil, and I got to see a town of 12 to 1,600 blow up to about 30, 40,000. Granted, they had the industry already, but in doing that, I got to see how that growth happens. You first have to get those good jobs coming, and then once you get those good jobs, then your retail comes, then your extra amenities come, then your restaurants come. And so the good jobs are kind of the horse, and everything else is that cart that gets in there. Then also the biggest thing is I walk around and talk about, I keep hearing roads. Which I never really noticed until I started hearing about it. I guess I just got used to it. But we got a lot of potholes that we need to get fixed out there, and some trimming in the roads. And then I also want to reach out to, as I've talked with some of the professionals in the schools, whether it's the secretaries and some of the teachers, there's some areas here in Tullahoma that they're not forgotten, but they're behind. And so I want to make a big effort and work with Tullahoma Police Department, and let's look at community policing. Not in terms of just getting out there and patrolling. Let's get out there and let's start building relationships and trust, and playing basketball and doing picnics and bringing them up. I think you can judge the success of a city by its low tier. Same as football, you're only as strong as your weakest link. So those are kind of the jobs, roads, and making sure that everybody's included and everybody's set up for success.
How would you go about the job routine? Have you got a process in mind there? Or?
So I've a couple different things. One, you got to have this. You can't just immediately go get the jobs. They're not going to come. There's some things you've got to do first. We need to look at our infrastructure, which is something that Tullahoma is far above kind of the surrounding areas here. We're a gigabit city, which is incredible for our size. We've got a private airport over here. We've got the base where we can fly cargo in. We need to start looking at, and the high school did a great job looking at some of these. They call it CTE now. I believe it used to be VOTEC. And when you're graduating high school, we need to be, graduate with the machine, graduate with HVAC, graduate with these services that we need here to build that industry so we have the employees. We also kind of need to step outside that legal boundaries and stop thinking of just Tullahoma. We're landlocked, so we can only grow so many houses, residential, right? But we have a great industrial park, and we can get these businesses. We can work with Franklin Moore Coffee to get people to work in these areas. And also, we can't tax them out of business. Our taxes are a little high. So we need to look at ways that we can get those lowered down. We can do that by looking at smart city infrastructure. When I say smart, not as dumb, but kind of goal measured.
Don't forget to tune into this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evening at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include representatives from the Tullahoma Arts Center who will tell us about their newest exhibit. J&J Organic Berry Farm have more blueberries than they know what to do with, and there's a new musical church camp in the area. All that and more on this week's Living.
And stay with us. We'll have your holiday weather forecast right after these messages.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Chevrolet GMC in Winchester. Select GMC Sierras up to $10,000 off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Chevrolet GMC on the bypass in Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation.
It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history. Our record high was in 1954 at 98 degrees. The record low was in 1948 at 53 degrees. Average high on this day is 87 and the average low is 65. Partly cloudy weather in the forecast for tonight with a low of 70. Isolated storms expected on Wednesday with a high of 88 and a low of 70. And scattered storms in the forecast for the 4th of July on Thursday with a high of 86 and a low of 70. And that's our newsletter report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6. You have a good evening.
Have a great evening.